We're on. Oh, my Lord. Look at the return of Inside Metal. This is our debut show back, man. And what better way to have a debut show with my man Bernie K from Sound Barrier.
What's up,
the
people?
Sound Barrier Reunion.
Yes, sir.
A band I saw back in the early 80s, 82, 83, back playing with Steeler, Black and Blue, Metallica, Rat. Saw them open for Motley Crue and Rat back at the Radio City. Saw you with Armored Saint several times. Sound Barrier back in action. We're going to talk all about that, but let me introduce everyone first. This is the return of Inside Metal. After a year hiatus, we're back here on Zinna TV. You remember the old TradioV, now Zinna TV studios. Check out the new studios. Yeah. Beautiful studios. Speaking about beautiful, look at this beautiful man right here. How about that for a segue?
What is it? Is there someone else in there?
Stu Herrera. KLOS.
Yeah, maybe I'll be saying something similar like the welcome back to the reunification of my old show after a year.
Well, you did give me great props on your Horns Up show on KLOS, and I did want to thank you about that.
That just comes natural, Bob. You're part of the, you're part of the territory.
We go way back. The old KNAC days, the old KNAC radio days. Many people will remember. We'll talk about this. Is all about old school metal, this show. So we'll get
in the right place.
We already did like 2 or 3 episodes just outside waiting. We said all our good stuff. So I don't know what else we could talk about. You guys all
right, that's a wrap.
Let's finish it up. Hopefully they recorded some of that stuff back there. We could use that stuff for deleted scenes and whatnot.
B-roll.
There you go, B-roll. So let's first off talk about the Sound Barrier reunion. Tomorrow night, Whiskey Jam. You could see it. If you're not in LA, you could watch it live, streaming live on Zinna TV. Do you know what time it starts or what time
The doors open at 7, and I think the first band hits at 8.
And we got some great stuff, of course. Sound Barrier reunion, the new band, you back with Spacey T. And, of course, Stanley E. on bass.
And we have a brand new drummer taking the place of Dave Brown.
The late, great Dave Brown.
Yeah, we lost Dave in 2013 to cancer. And we're dedicating this show to him as well. Because without Dave, there was no Sound Barrier. So this new guy is named Eric Valentine.
Right on.
He's a very, very awesome drummer. He's played with Steve Vai, Steve Lukather, Jonathan Butler, Eric Badu.
Wow.
He's an awesome drummer, great personality, and I think Dave would really dig him too, as a cat who really tries to play his instrument well.
Was he a Sound Barrier fan? Was he aware of the band?
He had no clue who we were. He met Spacey T at a jam at Lucky Strike. I'll say that, even though we were playing at the Whiskey and Ultimate Jam night. They met at Lucky Strike jamming with Doug Pennant.
Oh, sure.
And Spacey T pulled him to the side and said, "Man, I just love your playing." And turned him on to Sound Barrier and what we were trying to do. We were already writing songs together then for the new single. We hadn't picked one, but we were writing. Sure. And so he told him about us, and he said, "Oh, well, let me check you out." And he checked us out, called Spacey up and said, "Yeah, man, I'm down." And next thing you know, we're doing a single together.
Right on, man. And, of course, people that aren't familiar with Sound Barrier, you were the first all-black hard rock band to be signed by a major label, MCA Records. And this was before the big signing spree of the first L.A. metal signing spree, really, but before Quiet Riot, Motley Crue, Rat, Black and Blue,
That's a funny picture.
Armored Saint, Malice. Although, we got the pictures up. This is
that's
old.
awesome.
There they are. This is back in 82. There you go, Bernie K, Spacey T, and Stanley E. That was probably from the Whiskey or Troubadour.
I think that was Roxy.
Roxy, okay.
Yeah, that was the first gig we did after we signed MCA and had debuted our the new album Total Control.
Right. And that was the first album you did. You did a couple albums on Metal Blade and one on an EP, Born to Rock.
Right.
And then you were on Metal Blade. You got Emil in the band playing bass.
Yeah, that was Metal Blade.
Right.
That one. But Born to Rock was the second. It was like an EP.
Right on.
That had some good stuff on it. Really good stuff. Actually.
Now we got a brand new Sound Barrier record coming out.
Hot off the presses.
Tom Morello producing.
Big Tom Morello.
So, as everyone knows from Rage Against the Machine
That's right.
and Prophets of Rage, of course. Talk about that.
Wow. Well, let me give you the story. I'm hanging out at a club, and somebody hits me on the back of my shoulder. I turn around, and it's Tom. And he said, I go like, oh, what are you doing here? He's like, what are you doing here? So, we started chatting, and he said, man, listen, you guys have a story. I want to tell it. We have to do something with you guys. And I was like, I'm down, And so I spoke with Spacey, and we finally got together, and we started writing songs, man, because Tom said, man, do something. I'm going to put it out. So that's how that started the whole thing in motion. So me and Spacey spent some time, and when we have like maybe 9 songs in the bank right now that we like, and so we're hoping to move on to an album with this, but the new single is coming out on the 28th of this month, and it's going to be released on Firebrand Records, Tom Morello's label.
Right on it.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, very exciting.
And now the band's going to actually do some shows after this jam. You are actually planning to promote the record, doing a little tour and doing. If there's any booking agents out there, hit this man up. They're going to be preparing for a big full-scale tour.
Absolutely, because we're tour ready because we have a catalog,
Sure.
The 3 albums we did, and then we have the new songs as well, and of course a new product that's coming out, And the new song for you guys out there who's been waiting for it is entitled I'm Just a Man. So it'll be out on the 28th, and check it out, pull it up, drag it down, jam it, play it over and over again.
Put it in your ears.
Yeah.
Now, Soundbarrier was always a band. I was just way ahead of their time. I mean, it was, before, like I said, the LA metal scene exploded, like the DVD I put out.
Yes.
You like that plug, that little plug that Bernie K is
Look
in?
out.
Both of them. We'll get to that in a minute. But it really was a little bit, like I said, prior to Motley and all these bands, I remember at MCA, you had Miller Beer sponsoring you. You had like a sponsorship with Miller.
We sure did.
Yeah, and you were in a lot of the European magazines back in the day. Rock Without the Roll was on MTV. The first time people actually saw a black rock band on MTV. It wasn't played often, but you would see it once in a blue moon. It was like, oh my God, Soundbarrier on. And it was like before Motley and Rat and all these bands exploded. You did that, and you were on. Of course,
Yes.
You guys went on. You did the 3 albums. Then you went on to another fantastic band I got to mention, Total Eclipse. You and Dave Brown, and of course Victor Johnson from Sammy Hager's band. He's been with Sammy Hager for many years.
And Andre Berry.
And Andre Berry, amazing bass player. And of course, Spacey did different projects, Gangland with Stanley. And what brought you back together? Because it's been so many years since that time period.
It was this opportunity with Tom.
Wow.
We had talked about it. We had gotten together one time when Dave was alive, and jammed. And we were talking about getting back together, and we jammed Total Control. We jammed Rock Without the Roll. We jammed Born to Rock. We looked at each other and go like, we still got it, But nothing ever happened.
Right.
So this was the moment that, it was like, hey, man, let's at least solidify and bring it to full circle what we did, whether it goes huge or not or whatever. Let's just bring it, to a nice...
This is where we tie in our man Stu Herrera.
I was just going to say, man, with Morello getting involved, what an injection of energy and the interest that he alone is going to generate in people who haven't heard of Soundbarrier. They're going to be like, Tom Morello's getting behind this. What is this? And
That's why we're all wondering, when is the big KLOS debut? See, this was the whole key.
oh, that's why you wrangled me in before you found out.
Absolutely. Come on.
Right now.
It was all planned. Come
So when are you playing our new single when it comes
Well,
out?
that might be a minute.
So let's get to. I don't want to leave you out. Of course,
No,
Stu
not at
Herrera,
all.
KLOS did the killer Horns Up show, and I gotta give. I knew this guy back in the old KNAC days.
Yeah, we go back.
Old school metal days, and you really brought KLOS to the forefront of rock again. KLOS for so
thanks.
many years. had been doing the classic rock kind of thing, and
Sure.
everyone's like, dude, what happened to rock and hard rock in L.A.?
Yeah.
And Stu was there in the background doing producing and working and doing stuff, and then
Well,
you
I've
came
always
in and-
been, I always had this idea that, there was somewhere, someplace, even if it wasn't, a full-fledged format, that we could, get some of those B and C tracks and those bands that, radio forgot about. And finally, with the program director that came in, Keith, gave me a shot at it, and I was just over the moon. And I mean, it was such a blessing, and it was such a lot of work for me to do, and I kind of did it almost single-handedly. I had a little bit of help, but yeah, it was a real dream. And KLOS has always been a rock station. I've been there for almost 23 years. And, I've watched a lot of adjustments in the direction of the station musically. I mean,
Sure.
When I got there, shortly after I got there in '94, we kind of started, tossing in some of the alternative bands of the time when Bush was new and
Sure.
Nirvana wasn't new right then, but it was relatively new, and all that was
Tool
going
and
on.
all those, yeah.
And, we were really going up head-to-head against K-Rock. That had some success, but it was really tough to go against.
So it was '94 you left. That's right. It was 2
It was
years
94.
before
It was
KNAC.
it was not even a year before
right.
KNAC bit the
That's
dust.
right. We're going to get to that now. I know
Okay.
we got to take a break. I see. I'm getting the hand signal.
Yeah,
So you got that?
There's some commotion going on.
Yeah,
over there.
you could hear that.
Somebody gotta use the
see?
bathroom?
Yeah, bathroom break for everyone. Beer break if you guys need a beer. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Inside Metal Show on Zinna TV.
At our scene, beyond Slayer, Metallica, and Dark Angel.
That is so thrash. That is so over the top. The most extreme music I'd ever heard.
We were all hanging out together. We were all united around the belief in this music, and it brought us together.
San Francisco gets talked about all the time, but LA had a fierce metal scene.
But man, we had to fight the good fight against most of what LA stood for.
LA did not get the credit. It was stolen from San Francisco. They took all the credit. All these bands started emerging who were following in the footsteps of the new wave of British heavy metal.
And it was just blood. It was just brutal blood, man. Just fights and just, there was no control. There was no control.
The danger was part of the excitement.
Kidnap a poser and set him on fire, tie him to a chair, and beat him up. I watched them do stuff like that.
And I've got the biggest band in San Francisco opening for you. We're like, Y&T? He's like, no, Metallica. We're like, who? Good grief. Metallica's much bigger than Diamond Head everywhere. So we got a copy of No Life to Leather, put it on, it was like
Metallica was the first time I heard the punk element plus the new wave of British heavy metal put together. I'm like, this is it. I loved it.
Said, well, we're going to headline LA. That's our hometown, but we're going to headline, and Metallica going before us. Well, that was a big mistake, because then they came on and just destroyed us.
We went on right before Metallica, and there's still like that thread. There's no way we're going to blow away Metallica or anything, but I mean, you're going to fucking try.
When we opened for Queensrÿche, people really had no idea who we were. I mean, this is a big arena, and I remember looking at an audience and people having this look of terror.
And the whole place the ceiling was sweating.
Yeah, that's rock star shit. Yeah, that fucking roadies,
You got all the metal guys on one side of the parking lot, and you got all the punkers on the other side, and the animosity's already started.
It was just crazy. It was youth. It was youth.
We are back inside Metal Show on Zinna TV. I got to get used to saying that. Zinna TV, Zinna.TV. You can stream us live on Facebook, I just found out. Go to my Facebook page if you're, well, you would have to be streaming live to figure out that, I'm on stream live on Facebook. Anyway, my guest, Bernie K from Sound Barrier, the Sound Barrier reunion.
What's up, y'all?
Tomorrow at the Whiskey. And if you're not in LA, streaming live on Zinna.TV, you could see the one and only Sound Barrier reunion. Everybody has been waiting for the Sound Barrier reunion, and everybody has also been waiting for this other reunion that, dude, I can't tell you how many people have been asking me when this reunion is going to happen. And maybe my man Stu Herrera from KLOS can answer this for me. The Toxic Undershorts reunion. You like that?
What?
Huh?
You got me, man.
That was his old dad. They used to play Fashions. You remember
Fashions, Marquee, California Dreams. Yeah. Oh my God.
Good days.
Blew my
Crazy
little head
Craig.
apart, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, old school, man.
You know, we're all here. There is no reason we can't.
Well, let's do it, man. I mean, if Sound Barrier could do it.
Well,
come on.
Anybody can.
There you go. I'm waiting to get that call from Tom.
Whiskey Jam, hire these guys. Toxic Undershorts. There you go.
Right.
That would be awesome.
A high pedigree of musicianship.
Oh, the best.
Put it together.
I'll do that. We'll set that up.
Yeah,
all
man.
right.
We've talked about it. We got
Really?
to. Yeah. Well, Darren moved away to to Dallas.
He came to the screening. It was so.
Of course.
He came on the next night. Him and Mike Stark and
little KNAC. I think Thrasher came.
Thrasher came out too, which is awesome.
So but when Darren moved away to Dallas, it's like you can't have the
Dangerous
Undershorts.
Darren.
Dangerous Darren.
KNAC.
Okay. So when Darren moved off to Dallas, you can't have that band without Darren in
Sure.
it. He's he's the glue somehow.
Well, maybe you could get Bernie K to substitute some shows. You never know. Just kind of get a special. Maybe Tom Morello will do a jam with you. You never know. I don't know what could happen.
Aim high.
See,
Why
that's
not?
what I'm saying.
Wait a minute. What did you play?
I played guitar.
Oh, see, he's hiding from us.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Man, Tom Morello, I don't even know where to start first. First of all, with you, dude, you boggle my mind every time that I see you. When you there is no game about rock that you can't talk and everything. Like, I thought I'd know some deep rock stuff. I don't know nothing. Dude, you know every band in every lineup, what label, what year, what gig, what venue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
you are.
I'm old.
Encyclopedia Rockattanica.
No, but he had one of the first mags,
Well, that's interesting. We interviewed this man. We were at Headbanger Fanzine, and we did the first articles, some of the first on Megadeth, Metallica, Armored Saint, and Sound Barrier. We did a big LA special. I remember that episode. Steeler and Rat and
that was Headbanger magazine.
That was the Headbanger, and I think Bruce Dickinson was on the cover when he had.
I think so.
It was 1983.
I don't think your distribution got down deep enough into Orange County,
or
I would have got that.
We were at Tower Records there on Beach Boulevard. We were at a few, the fanzine. They got around at I think Music Market, some of the other old
Here
school.
Records.
Oh wow!
Here, that was mine.
I remember that.
Oh, really?
We had Green World and Important distribution before it became Combat, before it became Relativity Important, and it was a Xerox fanzine. But we did the first interview way back in the day.
Those days, that was our internet.
We go back.
Yeah, it was for sure.
Everybody was into the mags.
Sound Barrier got around. I remember Aardschok, the Dutch magazine, Kerrang, all these different fanzines in Europe and all over. And I kept sending them old Sound Barrier pictures and stuff from Band Magazine. This was the days of tape trading. You would send all this stuff, and people are, who is Sound Barrier? Who is Steeler?
We had a chance to really make a real noise, but we never got the push from MTA. I don't think we ever got the proper amount of marketing dollars.
You didn't.
We didn't get thrown on major tours that we should have been on.
Right.
You didn't even really tour, did you?
Not Sound Barrier.
That's crazy.
No, we did West Coast.
But you never got on a major tour like
never.
all these other bands when Rat and Black and Blue.
They would together and
go on with Ozzy or Aerosmith.
Catch a leg, and it never happened. Literally, we were in meetings where we're sitting in the corner in a marketing meeting, and there's a boardroom, and there's people around the boardroom going, so how do we market these guys? And
While you're sitting in the room.
We're sitting over there going like, as a rock band, as a rock band.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
You know, don't worry about being black.
Was there like a changing of the guard? Like the A&R guy found you, liked you, signed you, had you, make the album, and then a lot of times what happens is, the big arm comes in, out with those guys, in with these guys.
That's our
guy
story.
got fired, right?
That's our story.
Yeah. Right.
We were signed by Leon Tillis. This guy, I'll tell you the story, man. An amazing Hollywood story.
Yeah.
Leon is there at Madam Wong's West. If anybody remembers those.
Oh, I was there many a times.
You have a downstairs, you have an upstairs. If you're really making noise, you're upstairs.
Right.
If you're starting out, you're downstairs.
Right.
Okay.
That little stage.
So, of course, we're downstairs. Leon is there to go upstairs to check out some band that he evidently has some BAM noise, been doing some, got a little crowd. He passes on him. He's like, not as much as I thought. So he's on his way out the door. Now, this is his story to us.
Right.
He's on his way out the door. He's done. And he hears us before he hits the door. And now, if you remember Madam Wong's West,
I read the way it's
you
set
can't
up.
see the band downstairs because you walk down the hall.
Yeah, you have to go around a corner.
And then around the corner is the stage. So he could not see us. He heard us and said, "Oh, that sounds
That's
pretty
something.
good." So he comes around the corner, and of course he sees 4 black guys playing rock, and he goes, "Oh, I have to sign this." So we do get signed. He was senior VP of A&R, but he got canned before our album came out.
That's the story.
We had nobody else fighting for us.
Yeah.
And you know how that goes politically.
Yeah.
It can happen to any band.
It doesn't.
Once you got, somebody's not behind you, then the next guy doesn't want to pick you up because you know what? If you fall, it's going to fall on him.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning of that trip. So.
Well, a lot of these stories Bernie talks about in the Inside Metal movies. Here goes my plug. You guys ready?
Get it.
All right. Of course, Bernie involved in the first movie, The Pioneers of L.A. Hard Rock and Metal. 2-volume DVD set, Part 1, Part 2. And this was the early years from 75 to 81. And that was when Soundberry was just coming up in that era. And then, of course, he is in Part 2, which is the L.A. Metal Scene Exposed, which is also 2 volumes. Part 1 and Part 2, and see, I'm trying to get the.
Yeah, I see that.
You like the way I do that?
I'm going to have to say that Bob, you did a great job on those documentaries.
Thank you,
and it was very proud to be a part of it.
Yeah,
absolutely. How could I not? How could I neglect Soundberry, man? One of my favorite bands back in the day, and like I said, I saw you guys the early shows with Steeler, with Armored Saint, with Motley Crue, and Rat.
Oh man.
And it was just such a different experience for me and for everyone. I think you talk about it in the DVD, how everyone was kind of like, and we were all like, what? You see all these black musicians come in, you're like, oh, this is kind of different.
Oh man, the experience was
once
crazy.
You hit the stage, was like I said, a lot of these bands, even the bigger bands, they weren't very professional. They would do their tuning their guitars in between. It's like Soundberry, they just came on stage all dressed in red and black leather, and they just fucking kicked ass. And all the musicians would be sitting there going, fuck. Oh, God damn. Then they would get off stage, do their thing. This guy would be running around like a madman doing splits, these David Lee Roth splits off the fucking drum riser.
David Lee, DLR.
And people were like, wow, dude. And then they would get off, and it was like, whoa. God damn, what just hit us?
Did you guys, was it to the point where you guys had your road crew, a local road crew helping you out so that, as soon as you were done, you could mingle? Or
no, man, we were what we called band, roadie band.
Right.
I would be the band. We'd walk in as a band. Then I'd turn into the roadie,
right.
Helping Dave with his drums or whatever. That went on for a while until we got signed. And we had roadies. But, I'm telling you, man, that whiskey is so full circle for me playing the whiskey tomorrow. Because the first time we played the whiskey, the very first time, I'll never forget, people were grooving to us.
Throw up that marquee, the whiskey marquee.
And there was this one guy standing behind his girlfriend. Now his girlfriend is grooving like this. Yeah. And he's standing there behind her, looking at me like this. Oh yeah, Metallica.
There you go.
That's crazy, man.
That's awesome. Wow, that's
Steeler,
beautiful.
Soundberry, and Metallica open for everybody.
Wow.
Classic.
That's classic.
But this guy's giving me the eye, man. And then finally he gives me the finger. And I'm like,
what's wrong?
Why? Because his girl is grooving.
His girl is grooving, but he's only jerking us in the crowd. but he gives me the finger, so I don't want to start anything, and I walk away to the other side of the stage. Then finally I say to myself, F this guy.
Yeah.
So I walk right back to the guy. I get really close and down dirty with his girlfriend and start doing and she's going, yeah. And he looks at me like,
duh.
And then I step back and I'm like,
that's
what can I say, man?
Sorry.
Your girl's grooving.
Everyone was grooving to the sound.
She might not be leaving with you tonight.
I know, it's funny though, man. I'll never forget it, and it was funny, and and like I said, the scene, man, the people. I have to say, the people who were involved in the metal scene, they were down with new music and new ideas. It's always the upper crust of people trying to control,
the business guy. What do we do with this band?
That was
such a
something
dumb
Spacey
question.
T said. I don't know if we used in the documentary or not, but he was saying, the fans, they were open, they were cool, they embraced us. All the fans and the bands,
absolutely,
everyone embraced. But it was the management, the promoters, the
suits,
the suits that just didn't get it. But we got. I mean, after seeing you on stage and everybody, the bands, it was like and they knew this. Like, this is a band to be reckoned with. We want we want to get with these guys. These guys
definitely
are the shit. They're pro. That
you wonder.
And that was the thing, because all the musicians. I mean, you had all these guitar players starting. The George Lynches, all these cats. Warren D. Martine. I think Rat was. This was before Warren was even in Rat. I think when you guys were playing with them.
I think so.
But all these young cats, and you guys were coming out just all pro, and I know there was a lot of influence, because I know people looked at you guys like, okay, this is what we got to do. We got to start rehearsing and getting like these guys.
It makes you
guys
wonder,
had it
like
together.
what would that whole scene have looked like through the 80s, 90s, and through today if you guys had blown up the way that you were supposed to blow up? I mean, I can't think of a whole lot of black musicians in the hard rock and metal scene. Before Tom Morello came around, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but before Tom came up, like, there's not a whole lot of color.
Right. Well, Fishbone, those are
thanks.
friends.
Okay, yes,
Living Color, of course.
Living Color.
Well,
thank
Fishbone
you,
was before Living Color.
Right.
But
they
those are
were a
the
little bit more of a
exceptions to the
funky
rule.
kind of grind. I think you had Bad Brains in New
more
York.
funky,
and
Bad
stuff.
Brains, punk, really punk.
I think we got to take a break. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll get back with my man Bernie K and Stu Herrera. Yeah. All right. Oh, old school headbanger fanzine. There you go. Look at that.
Brand new
Inside Metal Show, Zinna TV. See, I'm getting used to it. Zinna TV and my guest, Mr. Bernie K.
That's right. Sound Bear's in the house.
Reunion. Back in the house.
Jesus Christ.
It's been about a couple, 3 decades, but
Yes.
maybe 4.
Oh,
well,
God,
3 and a
about-
half,
about-
something like that.
Yeah, about
Damn.
30 years.
And my man, Stu Herrera. The metal man from KLOS. This is a guy that's bringing rock back to Southern
I'm trying
California.
to, fly that flag.
Good hard rock.
I haven't said this at all, but in
Talk
fact,
to
I didn't
us,
even
Stu.
get to it. I got a little long-winded, but a little long in the tooth. Maybe that's why I'm not on. But then for this magical year of 2016, we actually had 2 metal shows going because Full Metal Jackie.
That's right.
Her
she
show
was
is still
doing it.
going. So mine was on Saturday night, which
Right.
is a higher profile time to be playing lower profile music than Jackie's time at that. Last year was Monday night. Now she's on Sunday nights, and it's a fantastic slot.
It's a little bit heavier stuff.
Yeah,
does that.
She, her slant is a little more current based than mine, and she always has
She
an
used to be down
interview
San
every
Diego,
single.
right? She had a.
She's from all over.
I think she had a show originally on like one of the San Diego.
I think so.
And then they did the Independent 101. You remember they had that for like a little while in L.A. back.
Oh no, Indy 103, and
Indy
she was on that.
103,
Yeah, her show KLOS was on
Right,
Indy
right,
103, and
right.
that was like crazy, over the top. But like something for like the old school, everything that ranged from like 70s through 80s and 90s metal, and so, I'd pepper in some of the newer stuff. It was a really great
Dude,
mix.
your show was awesome. You had John
Thanks.
Bush on the whole show.
That was
and,
a great
like
show.
Mike Inez and
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. And it's funny because I moved out of L.A. just before then, but I would hear some of the stuff online. And it's like, fuck, as soon as I moved, Stu comes, and we were all waiting for you. And you knew I busted your balls so many times. I was signing the club, so I was like, dude, come on, KLOS,
God.
come on, bring back
You
the rock.
and
I'm hearing
everybody.
this, and
Why
I'm
is your
sure,
show
but-
only 3 hours?
Yeah,
It's like it's not good enough until it's like, well, now it's no hours. But yeah, because you're not going to win. And you can give me you can give me
94,
heat
that's
for this.
23
years.
3 years.
This
Wow.
June. But honestly, I mean, it's tough. I mean, we are all of us, and I mean all of us, rock fans, people that go, to the whiskey on Tuesday night. We are a passionate bubble of diehards. Yeah. But in LA, the big radio market, like it's tough to win things with that kind of
That's
music.
something
Warrior Fighting for the Earth is going
Ah,
to sink you every
there
time.
you go.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
And they started out with that, of course. Warrior Joe Floyd, my co-producer
Joe
on
Floyd,
this.
yeah.
The man.
What up, Joe?
Joe, what's happening? Hopefully he's watching here. But you say something interesting, and that was the thing, that local radio, because of course you were back in KNAC before. You were one of the originals out at KNAC, and
It was one of the earlier.
and that was just such it's something that you won't get anymore. Never, unfortunately, because radio now is just so corporate. You got iHeart, or which was
there are
Clear Channel.
so many things at play. I mean, the
Don't
world
have
has
that personal thing. I mean, the thing that was great about KNAC, you remember they would do the show. Ton Mastery would be at your show, or you would have, and they would just promote it, and you would have the local, and that's what brought up the local bands, and that's why you had so many bands. I mean, what was the last great band that came out in the millennium? You didn't see. I mean, that really made it, or that because you don't really have the boost from localized radio.
Well, it's tough. I mean, there's been so much fragmentation across the media itself. I mean, you can listen to radio, satellite radio, your iPod.
Sure.
You can listen to any stream. Right. You can listen to your own personal radio station you put together, Pandora. I mean, Spotify,
which is great, and you could get
on,
up, but you still don't get that local appeal.
No, you don't.
You don't
and that's
get
why
that.
I prefer. I'm still old school.
Yeah.
I think
And that's what you
we're of
brought
the
back,
dying
which
breed.
I thought was great. Because I remember KNAC, you were in the chili cook-offs, and you would
Yeah.
just pump
And we'd
it, and
be
there'd
there.
be 5,000-10,000 people. Great white, blue murder, and
Yeah.
in the
It was
park,
lifestyle.
and just everything, and all the shows. I mean, we talked about Fashions and the Red Onions and the Marquee, and
it was
there
in
was
the
live
days,
music.
It was in the
everywhere.
days when you had to go out to see other people.
Absolutely.
There's no
You didn't
virtual
look it on the phone.
anything. You had to go, and it was cool.
Kind of brought that vibe back. Which
You know
I
what?
think
You know
was
what I
cool.
think. This is a little bit off topic, but you know what was one of the coolest things that that happened last year was that GNR gig, and it's been over a year now, and I forgot about this. Somebody mentioned it the other day. The one that they did at the Troubadour. The very first one, right? With the secret show. I got into that, and what they made you do was you had to surrender your phone.
I heard that
at the door.
Cool.
And actually, it was fucking bitching.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing this. Everyone was talking to each other. Everybody was watching the show. Some celebrities got, up there on the balcony had theirs, but everybody down below just had to sit, and all you saw in the air were fists, if that.
Right. Old school.
It was old school, and I thought that was bitching.
Yeah.
It was really a great idea. I wish more bands would, more clubs say, hey, you know what? Here, you put them in this sock, and then when you're done, you can have it. Absolutely.
Well, Sound Barrier going for it. I mean, you got the new record coming out. I mean, it's a whole new ball game since you last, even with Total Eclipse, which was early 90. What was that, right. 90, 91?
92, 93.
So it's a whole new game for you guys. And I forgot to mention that Spacey played with Fishbone for so many years.
7 years at least.
7 years. So, you guys were active, and you had a few different projects you were working on, a lot of session stuff and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as marketing the CD tour, it's a whole, are you prepared for this? Are you...
Hey, ready or not, but I've been keeping up with the media, and the different changes in society. Period. You got to keep up. And it's just doing the same thing with a different medium.
Sure.
I mean, to me, I look at it like that.
I've been hearing a lot
about
it. And thanks to Gina Zambarelli. Give a shout out to you.
Yeah, Gina.
Doing a lot of promotion for Sound Barrier.
Helping us out on social media.
Absolutely.
We've got our own little fan page we put up on Facebook just to have somewhere, people to go right away until we really get a website and all that stuff up through the label. But yeah, Sound Barrier, the band. If you go on Facebook, you can see all our stuff. We got pictures of rehearsals and all the new stuff we're doing, and kind of hyping the show for tomorrow. Come down and all that. But it's going to be fun getting into the new medium, the new social media medium, and
a lot of people
doing all that.
Yeah, a lot of bands take advantage of I mean, now it's all about touring. The CD sales isn't as much, but you're seeing so many great Armored Saints still going stronger than ever. They're doing
those
great.
Are friends of ours.
All these bands, Rat, now Piercing, and they got that back together, and I see Black and Blue and all these other bands, and then you got, of course, the thrash bands going stronger than ever. Megadeth, of course, Metallica is just huge, but you see Death Angel, Testament, all these bands are just ruling out there. Anthrax.
But like he said
back
earlier,
in the day, that haven't
they've really had a fan base that's diehard.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like,
it's lifestyle.
They're going to play. I'm going to see them. Period. So we're hoping to get into that vibe. Where people remembered us and will want to come see us.
Is this our final break? We got one more segment coming up. All right, we're gonna take one final break here. Inside Metal Show on Zinna TV. We'll be back with Stu Herrera and Bernie K.
All right.
Hi, I'm Rob Schneider.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Matt McAndrew. Hey everyone, I'm Tyler Oakley.
And I'm Corey Cool.
Hi, I'm Martha Madison.
This is Slink Johnson, aka Black Jesus, BKA Godzilla Lungs.
Hello, I'm Aaron Roberts.
Yeah, what's up? This is Craig Wayans.
Hi, this is Brad Williams, and as you can tell, I have never gotten high.
Speedy Don.
And I am the fabulous Stephen King.
What's good? It's your boy Marcus Park, man. We keeping it lit.
I'm Money B.
What's up, y'all? This is Crazy Bone in the building.
And it's your boy Street Symphony.
And you're watching.
I start. Hi, I'm Moxie.
And I'm Nicole. And we're the ladies of Suicide Girls Radio, the world's leading BYOB radio show. Pour a glass of your favorite tipple and tune in on Wednesday nights between 8 and 9 p.m. as we discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of free nipples. Or just flash it would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? People think flashing your tits is easy, right? And it's actually kind of hard.
I like to sing, dance, pretend, and I like to have fun.
was suspected of being responsible, but it was all hushed up.
All right. Inside Metal Show. Zinna TV, this is our final segment. Can you believe how fast this thing goes?
We've been at this for like 15 minutes. It's a 15-minute show?
No, but you know what? Get out of here. You're not welcome here.
Apparently
that's what the people on Facebook see. This is technology. Isn't it great? We could be streaming. We're streaming live on Facebook. And
used to be you had to call the radio station and try to give the DJ shit. Now she just types it in. Hi, Lisa. Don't you have somewhere to be?
Hey, Lisa.
Shouldn't you be working?
Got you on the spot there, Lisa. So anyway, we're going to touch base at the end about how, because I know so many people, so many chicks apparently want to contact both you guys. So we're going to give out their information
There's
after
chicks
the show.
watching this show
Oh,
right now?
dude, we got more women than
Can I
any
come
other
back
show on
next
this channel.
weekend?
Isn't that right, Jake? Even more than Grand Theft Auto. What's up with that?
Don't bite the hand that feeds, Bob. Come on.
All right, so it's 99.9% male viewers, but there's one or two chicks out there waiting to contact you guys. So we'll give out the information, but later. But we will talk about whatever you want to talk about in this last segment here.
Wow. Well, for me, of course, I want to talk about the show tomorrow night at the Whiskey on April 18th.
Metal knows no
sound barrier.
Knows no color.
It's metal knows no metal has no color.
There we go.
Tongue twister.
Ultimate Jam Night. I want to thank Adam Mandel and Chuck Wright for that's their gig that they do over there.
And Mike Zinna.
And Mike Zinna, great musicians that play there in the house band too. Mitch Perry, is a part of that band.
Right. That's such a great
Matt
night
Starr. I mean, those guys are killer players, man. They're solid, period. And they don't play. They're no joke. I mean, and Soundberry, the one thing we've always pushed for us was great music, great execution, good songs, melody, groove, hard, so we're hoping to recapture that tomorrow night, and
put it
push
on
the
display.
envelope, man.
Well, I can't wait.
And it's a great lineup. There's
well, you got Doug Pennick playing with Corey Glover.
Doug Pennick. God forbid, the guy's gonna be there.
Is Tom getting up to play also, or is he just?
I think Tom wants to it's his brainchild, so he's gonna sit up there and watch his little.
All right, watch
from
it all
perch,
unfold.
And let us do our thing. And we'd like to thank Tom for giving us this opportunity, because the song is really killer. I mean, it's hardcore. I mean, it's not thrashy, but it's a great song, great rock song. And like in the vein of Sound Barrier, we've never had one type of sound. We cover
the whole spectrum. That's right.
Believe me, we play some progressive stuff along with some straightforward rock and roll. And so you can't put us in a box, and it's going to be the same thing tomorrow night. So.
All right, Stu Man, what do you got going? KLOS, talk to us.
I just keep on keeping on, dude. I've been.
So you had the show Horns Up, which was a great show. You got something else in the works?
Well, what's happened with Horns Up is that. For a couple different reasons, most of which I've already gone through, but another one is that Horns Up being on Saturday night took me, I get paid to be there 5 days a week.
Right.
So the management decided, we want you here back on Mondays. We can't afford to have you not here. So we're giving you up for a whole day of work on Monday to have a relatively low-rated show on Saturday. That doesn't make business sense. So Horns Up is going to be like an occasional, special.
Right
We got a lot of stuff coming up this summer. That's coming to town. I can't, I don't want to tip my hat or anything like that too much, but let's just say you haven't heard the last of Horns Up.
All right,
but,
keep it hard and heavy.
Weekly.
As long as the station continues on the right track and doesn't veer back into.
No, we're not going back to big
There you
bands
go.
or
All right.
Tchaikovsky concertos like we
today.
did. Never.
Right on. Okay, well, let me give a last plug too. You guys saw earlier today the trailer for the Inside Metal Rise of LA Thrash Metal. That will be the third movie. Of course, we had as I mentioned, the first two, LA Metal Scene Explodes, 2 DVD set. What that was, and Pioneers of LA Hard Rock and Metal is what I meant to say. It was the first one that LA Metal Scene Explodes, and now Rise of LA Thrash Metal Part 3 is going to be coming out in summertime. I think we're going to be doing a big screening. You guys got to come out. You guys were at the screenings before.
Screening's a good time, man.
It was a fun time. Got everyone back together, in
a room, like the old days.
It was just like
this time. No cell phones.
No cell phones at all. So, how about to contact you, Stu?
I'm sorry, I left that out. There's a Facebook page, there's a website, but there's not anything there. So, the easiest thing to do is Horns Up. Gosh, what's wrong with me? Horns Up Radio at Facebook.com. There's a fan page there. There isn't a whole lot of activity on my part lately, but there's also a discussion group called the Horns Up Wrecking Crew that all the the hardcores are still in there.
So people all over the world can listen to it. Just go on to KLOS
No,
Internet.
there's nothing to listen to right now because, as you know, you can't podcast or you can stream the material that you're playing, but you can't put it out as a podcast.
But if they stream it live when you show up live.
Oh, yeah. When absolutely. KLOS is streaming 24/7, so you can always hear it. It's 95.5 FM in Los Angeles, and if you are elsewhere, then we are at 955 KLOS. You can find us on iHeart. There's an app. Just look up 955 KLOS on whatever your device has for App Store, and you will find us, and you can stream us.
There you go. Bernie K., you got any major contact you want to...
no, just look out for the single dropping on the 28th.
There you go.
It's called I'm Just a Man.
And we'll
be playing it. We'll be playing it tomorrow night, but at the 28th, hey, pull it down. Spotify, iTunes, whatever. It's going to be there. And, download it.
So how about that, Jake? We got it done in time. You didn't have to rush us or anything. Do we have extra time here now? You want to do a little dance? We got 2 minutes.
That's
Holy
a lot
shit.
of time.
Wow, 2 minutes to fill.
All right, now what are we going to talk about? We can't. No, what?
No.
We don't have the calling set up. So, I do want to mention, tomorrow we were supposed to have Jonas Auckland coming in tomorrow night. Or actually, it was going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m. It is now scheduled for Thursday at 11 a.m. And you don't want to miss this. The director, Jonas Auckland. I think you met Jonas.
Briefly. He's the guy who was behind the actual executive producer of this?
No. Jonas is a big-time director. He directed everything from Madonna and Lady Gaga to Metallica and Ozzy, and he just did the new Rammstein movie coming out.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, which is
But I met him at
the
Inside Metal, didn't I?
You might have. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Dude, Rammstein is playing 2 or 3
I know,
shows all year
Vegas.
in this country, and Vegas is one of them. And
Yeah.
It's starting to look more and more like
They're saying they're
mandatory.
going to add more dates.
Really?
There, but I don't know.
I
But
almost
I'll
kind of
go- we'll
hope
go
that
out
they
to Vegas.
don't.
Yeah.
Just do
If
them
you
next year. I'm
haven't
not
seen
saying never
Rammstein
again,
live-
but it's fun to just go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say if you haven't seen Rammstein live, check out this DVD because this is like a 10 camera.
Oh, really?
Thing. I mean,
Of course
it's
it is.
amazing, and in
course.
Paris, and I mean, if you haven't seen Jonas Auckland's productions and his directing for the video, it's amazing. It's really good. Oh, and don't forget the Poe Show. God, how could I forget the Poe Show? I was on the lovely Poe Show earlier today, and you can get that on demand, right? Just go on to Zinna.tv and
The Poe Show Faux Show.
the Poe Show Faux Show. And thank you, Poe. If you're still around, she's probably getting drunk with Chuck Wright right now, but she'll be at the show tomorrow night, right? And you guys will all be at the show tomorrow night working. Everyone's going to be at the show tomorrow night at the Whiskey.
Right
Once
on.
again, Whiskey A Go-Go Ultimate Jam. Doors open at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
You guys go on at...
Probably about 10.
All right, it's going to be packed, so get there early. And it's free, so shit, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
That's
And yeah,
Catch it while you can.
So anyway, I was saying, look at you still got the original. Look at this, old school. You still got Thursday, 11 a.m. We're gonna have Jonas Auckland and our Swedish buddies, the Swedish Clan. We're gonna have an ultimate discussion about old school, new wave of British heavy metal and European metal. It's gonna be amazing. I mean, Jonas, complete metalhead. Great show. You're going to want to tune in Thursday at 11 a.m. I'm trying to waste time. Help me out, guys.
Those are the longest 2 minutes on Earth.
I know. Are we done yet?
You've been off for a minute.
You said 2 minutes. I've been 10.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm back. Inside Metal Show is back, and we're going to take over. We're going to rule.
Look at these idiots. Still talking.
All right. TV. Thank you, Mike Zinna, and everyone. bringing it back.
Excellent, man.
Thank you.
Sounds fun. Really cool. Really cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.